thinking about strange activities in houses. The Bible spoke about Obed-Edom and how the ark of God was taken to the house of Obed-Edom, and everyone in Obed-Edom's house began to prosper. His businesses prospered, everything prospered. The animals also began to multiply. And people forget that the ark that is within a location determines how the location responds. And many times we move into houses where certain altars have been raised, or certain agreements have been made and dedications concerning regions. And we just get in there and just think, oh, beautiful house, lovely house. And then we begin to experience all kind of satanic activities, because every time an agreement is struck and an altar is raised, there are certain components that are involved in the altar system. There is usually the priest who initiates it. There is usually the physical structure representing an altar. There's usually a sacrifice, a price that the priest pays to gain the attention of the god. There is also the deity that responds to the sacrifice. There's always an agreement that contains terms and conditions, times and places and seasons. And there is also the location of the altar. And then there has to be spiritual gatekeepers that stand over the altar. And so these spiritual gatekeepers, depending on the manner of covenant that was enacted, and depending on the priesthood that enacted it, the gatekeeper could be a demonic entity, a satanic entity, or it could be an angelic entity. So many times when we move into places, we forget that places in themselves are like conduits of covenant and altars. And there is this whole song and dance that is going on in the spirit realm that we are not privy to, but our lives follow the rhythm of the covenant in the regions that we go into. And many people don't know this. And so many times they go into places ignorant and they begin to face the consequences of what has been enacted in that area. But that being said, where does the land play a role? In Genesis, the Bible is speaking about how God created man. And the Bible says that God created the heavens and the earth. He said in the beginning, he created the heavens and the earth. And the word for earth that was used is the Hebrew word eretz, E-R-E-T-Z. But that was speaking about the entire earth system. But then when God was going to make man, he made man from the dust of the earth. And that word for dust is the same word for soil, the same word for clay, and it's the Hebrew word Adamah. And so God made man from the component of the earth and gave man this vessel and this structure that if you looked at it, all you could see was the earth. And then God put his spirit, his divine nature, on the inside of this Adamah vessel, so that man became the complete structure that was the full representation